You are in for a treat today. Welcome to the Tiny Word Project podcast, episode 9. Today we are speaking with Nathan McCallum.
With Nathan, we're talking about how his following has grown in the past couple months, his secrets to success as growing yourself as a brand, and some of the crazy things he's done over the past few years.
Nathan's word that he chose for this podcast is attitude. Find out why he chose that word. Enjoy. Nathan McCallum, thank you so much, sir, for jumping on the Tiny Word Project podcast. It is a pleasure. It is an honor. And it is a good time because you're a good time.
It's a Tuesday. Wait, is it Tuesday, Monday?
Tuesday.
It's
Tuesday.
Oh, and I'm sure you would love to know that it's Elliot's 7th month birthday today on the 21st of April, everyone.
Birthday.
Happy birthday
She
to
gets
Elliot.
cuter every day.
She is cute.
And it gets uglier every day.
Oh, wait.
It takes a little bit of the
It's almost like, she's taking away from him.
Yeah.
You'll be like what that scene out of what is it? Lost Ark, I think, or where the guy like shrinks up and becomes a skeleton. That'll be by the end of it.
Oh, that's sick. That's amazing. I'm pretty much already there. So
Almost.
Yeah.
it's 7 months in. Yeah. How you doing today, bro? Enough about us. How are you doing?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah. Hot topic that we've been covering lately in the podcast is the current time of being this isolation vacation. We should definitely make a merch t-shirt called Isolation Vacation. How have you been coping during this time?
To be honest, it hasn't affected me as much as I think it has other people. I work from home most of the time, so being at home most of my day is how I'm used to being anyway. I didn't have to change to be more productive in a certain way because I kind of just was already doing it. The only difference is Court's home now because she obviously worked in an office before, so now we're together the whole time.
Yeah.
And our place isn't the biggest place, so it means just having to communicate who has calls at what time and make sure we're avoiding getting in each other's hair. She's right next to me right now working.
Oh, cool.
She can't hear you, but she's waiting, so she knows you're saying hi. But yeah, apart from that, it's been fine. Like we've Milestones had to adapt a little bit to at-home programming as opposed to training in a gym, but that's also gone off super, super well. We were already very established in the online space with coaching and training anyway, so we didn't really have to write new programs or start doing things any differently. I've just been filming at home and doing our thing.
Yeah, just doing more of the same type thing, but a little bit different too.
Yeah.
Doing those home things.
It's forced to be more creative with the workouts because obviously there's less variations for machines and stuff. So for me, I've actually been probably more creative than I normally would be to help inspire other people to think outside the box because not everyone has the same equipment, same facilities at home. So in order to reach a wider audience, I've sort of adapted to that, and it's made me probably enjoy my workouts a bit more because I've been more creative with them too.
Have you found that people have been taking to those home workouts quite a lot?
It's bonkers. My following is just blowing up at the moment.
Crazy.
Yeah, this month alone I've grown more than 100,000. So people are obviously absorbing it and using it a lot, which is cool.
That's really cool, man. That's really cool. And you're definitely putting that informative, those informative workouts out there as well. They're not just random workouts. You're actually quite backed by the brand and business that you've created, Milestone, with also the brains as well there with Lane Fletcher. So yeah, it's really cool what you're putting out. It's very inspiring. As a friend of yours, I'm inspired just as an individual person seeing what you're doing, and I'm sure Jake can agree on that as well. Even though we may not be into the fitness as heavy as someone else, but just the way you're I'm going to have to beat that out. I keep ruining that word.
Innovative.
You keep innovating and moving forward, which is really, really, really cool.
There we go. Innovating. That's the word we needed.
That's the word. We found it.
Got it.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's not even about being a super active person as well. It's more people are online. People are searching for inspiration and education and entertainment. So if you're ticking those boxes, you're likely to kind of continue to grow and reach new audiences. That's why I started doing those dumb dances, because I danced during workouts anyway. And then people were like, oh, I love that. And then I found one of those like 80s aerobics Oz style videos. I was like, this would be fun.
So good.
And it went absolutely viral. The number one post of all time. So
that's crazy. Nick and I were looking at that the other day, and just like looking at the amount of comments and that sort of thing, and it was just like next level.
Yeah, and it's still growing. It's still ticking over. People are still finding it somehow, which is wild. So.
Oh man, this time is a blessing and a curse, for more so for others than yourself or anything like that. Yeah, it's cool. I think
it's so cool to see.
There's silver linings for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's so cool to see how people are adapting and changing and sort of being forced to learn or adapt or think of new things to really get out there and keep moving forward and that sort of thing. And it's cool to see that, like, obviously with what you do, you can see a direct number as a result of like with the amount of followers and that sort of thing. You can see how what you've done has changed and benefited you. Whereas, like, I suppose normal business, they're not really seeing so much like the direct amount of people that are either following or liking or commenting or that sort of thing. But it's really cool with what you do, I suppose, to be able to see, okay, I made this video and it's done well, so I've gained X amount of people who are now following me and that sort of thing, be able to track it that way, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I have a very tangible result to kind of work off, whereas a lot of other online businesses, they're having to adapt, and it may not be as I said, as tangible for them to be able to see the results of that. But that's kind of the nature of the business I'm in anyway. I have to work off like numbers, and like I go through the analytics of what I'm doing all the time anyway. It's just, there's a noticeable difference right now.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. We're discussing something before this, before we jumped onto this podcast with you, and this kind of goes away from what's happening at the moment, but more kind of extracting some value from you in the sense of if someone wants to grow their following or grow their more presence on social media, as we're talking about, like more of a personal brand, how do you reckon people can approach that, or how do we can approach it? I guess using this time or in any time in general.
I kind of touched on it before. We talked about Lane before. He had a go at me for this, but it's something that I've talked about for a while. And it's like, you shouldn't just give that information out. People pay for that. But there's like pillars that I sort of use my content creation based on. And as I said, it's educate, inspire, and entertain. If you're ticking those three things, they're kind of like the goals and the things that people want out of social media. You want to be entertained. You want to be watching something that's enjoyable. You want to be inspired. You want to have something that makes you want to do something, and then you want to actually get something out of it. So education. So whether that's like what you guys are doing with the barbershop, where you're doing like fun challenge videos and you're doing a how-to shave video, and so there's that education, there's that entertainment, and then there's that inspirational aspiration of like, oh yeah, I want to be able to do that myself. That's what you guys are doing there, is ticking those exact things, whether you've thought of them from that perspective. Yeah, that's a big one that I think is applicable to many industries and businesses, not just like fitness or grooming, but there's certain areas where you can always hit that as long as you're being smart about what you're putting out there.
Yeah, that's
the next thing's engagement.
Yeah.
Get back to your audiences.
Yeah, that's really cool. And communicating and having that relationship with the audience, and we can definitely agree on that as well. But that's really informative, and I guess people get a little bit scared to engage with their audience. Would you see like people would be more?
I don't think they get scared to engage. I think people get lazy and they don't put the emphasis on it that it needs. You see people that have like, I get the amount of DMs I get that be like, I can't believe you actually read my DM. Like, why wouldn't I? Like, it's kind of my job.
Yeah.
Like, it does get harder some days. Like most mornings now, I'm waking up to a couple of hundred unread DMs, which takes time. Like, but at the same time, that's also part of my job. Like getting back to people, even if it's just like double tapping, like hearting the comment. If you have questions, I try and answer them. But for the most part, it's just getting back to them. It's not the end of the world. It maybe takes an hour of my day. But at the same time, that hour might have been the difference between someone was like, I kind of like what this guy's doing, to, oh my God, he took the time to respond to me. Yeah. I'm now a loyal follower. Like those little things I think people don't put enough presence into.
Yeah, I don't think it takes much to win people over in a way of like if they feel like, because it could be anyone, like it could be a business or a person or whatever, and if someone feels like connected to them in some way and they feel like they've personally been sort of reached by them or had some sort of interaction with them, I think that I mean, I'm guilty of it too. There's certain people that I mean, that's why people want to comment and tweet at people and write stuff on Facebook or whatever, because they want to actually reach those people that they aspire to or find some sort of value in. And if people are getting that engagement back from you, then that's a huge thing. And obviously it gets to a certain point where it becomes probably near impossible to reach everyone. But to still have that engagement with people, that's a huge thing. And that caters to everything. That's not even just influencers or businesses or whatever. That's like everyone can do that with no matter what they do. So I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah, and
too.
that's the thing. Like I'm at 700,000 followers and I still have time to write back to people. Like unless you're at those like multi-million platforms, you don't have an excuse not to do it. Yeah. If you want to grow a business, you want to build an audience that follows you for you and what you're selling and believe in you, well, then that's the only way to do it, is to actually have that engagement. So there's not really an excuse to do it.
And even have you found that even finding other ways to do that, like with I know that you've been doing a lot of Q&As and that sort of thing recently, have you found that even that has fed into that a lot as well?
Yeah, 100%. Doing that, it means I can answer questions en masse. Because I do get asked the same questions over and over. I need to put a frequently asked questions into my bio because that's one of the ones that I do get asked the same questions every time. And if people miss a story, but because of that, my story engagement's gone up astronomically in the past few weeks too. More people are on social media and wanting to see that content. If you're answering some novel things and giving them just a different version of you, again, you're only growing your brand. So
that's sick, man. That's really cool. Very inspiring. It's interesting to hear you from another side. I know we've discussed this as well personally, as we are closer than just you being a guest on this podcast. But it's really cool and inspiring to see your experience through what you do as a job come out, and just give value to other people. It gives value to myself. It gives value to I'm sure Jacob and this brand that we're building here and the businesses that we do. We take a lot of inspiration from what you do and implement it into our life. And I'm sure a lot of other people do that as well. And it's really good, man. Really cool.
I think everyone should be helping each other. Like I think the information there, I'm not telling you the secrets to anything. I'm just telling you, well, these are the few things I do that I get enjoyment out of and that seems to be working for me. Maybe you have different people have their own advice on how to work things if they're in a different industry, but I think it's all sharing, it's all helping.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to ask, Nathan, obviously you've done quite a lot of, with what you do, you've sort of taken you to a few really cool places and given you a lot of cool opportunities. Is there one sort of thing over the past few years of really running the social stuff that stood out to you that has sort of been an opportunity that has been given to you, or being in the position that you're at has allowed you to do?
Countless things. Honestly, look, there is so many pinch yourself moments that I have in life that have come from putting myself out there on social media before it was cool to do and accidentally falling into this lifestyle that's wild. It's ridiculous. The things I get to do I get to go to, I love music. Music's such a huge thing for me and always has been. And I've always gone to shows, and over time of doing that, I'm now partnered up with JBL, who have a box at Kudos Arena, and I get to go to concerts as part of my job regularly. Crazy. As a fitness guy, I'm not even I'm not working in the music industry, but because music is such an integral part of what I do with the fitness side of things, that's now an opportunity I have that I don't deserve. I shouldn't have got from where I was 5-6 years ago, but just I guess saying yes to opportunities and following this and seeing what happens here and being up for this thing, it's allowed me to now do that for a job. And I've got friends that are bona fide megastars that are I'm on personal relationships with because we happen to have followed each other through something else, and they found me through something, and all of a sudden now we've got this really cool relationship that's formed through social media.
Sick. That's
Very
really cool.
blessed.
And just by putting yourself out there and just being who you are and just showing what you're about, it's sick. It's really cool. Hey,
So cool. Yeah, I find it like it's so cool to see that obviously knowing of you and being local and like seeing some of the things that you've been able to do is really, really cool and like almost inspiring to know like, all right, cool. It's not just that we're stuck in this little bubble on the coast. Like, even being from Australia, a lot of people would see that as a disadvantage. It's like you can, if you really want to do it, you can get there. And obviously socials have made it so much easier to make that a reality, which is really, really cool. And even just seeing people that like...
That's the thing, it's the world in general is so small now. Like you say, like it being from Australia doesn't mean anything anymore.
No.
The world, it's a plane ride. Like you can connect with people online instantly. I've been doing these live workouts the past couple of weeks with people all around the world. We're live and they're like 7 p.m. at night and it's 9 a.m. in the morning here and we're working out together for a vast majority of people all around the world live.
Yeah. Giving
them tips and tricks and ideas and just like entertainment. What is that world we're in now? That's so cool. I think we're so in this age, the golden age of society where everything's at our fingertips. We don't have an excuse not to succeed. Yeah. Everything's on your shoulders. It just depends what you do with it.
Yeah, 100%. Totally agree with that. And I was having a moment the other day about it, thinking about how cool and how lucky we are to have the internet. And it kind of still feels like as I get older and develop like the barbershop, as we develop the barbershop here in these brands and moving this podcast, most of it's all online, how long term this internet's actually going to stay around for. Like this is it. This is the next stage of things, and it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And with like
it's only going to grow.
Yeah, and it's just especially what you do with your online fitness and stuff like that with Milestone, and that's like Milestone is pretty much it started out with being one-on-one and like seeing people there, but like you grew so much online and it's just gotten bigger and bigger and it's still getting bigger and bigger. And yeah, I was thinking the other day, like, man, this is not going away. This internet it's just taking over and consuming everything. Like,
yeah, 100%.
The cool thing with that though, like you're saying, we've grown online definitely. And we started as Lane started as like a one-on-one PT business.
Yeah.
And then when I came in, we decided to do Milestone together. We took it online and started reaching audiences. But we're almost now at the flip side where we're now taking the online thing and taking it in person, and we're doing those workshops where people can come along and have that like one-on-one experience, and we get so much value out of that.
Yeah.
And I think the clients get so much value out of that. It's almost flipped it on its head and it's going, well, we don't want to just be online. We want to have that in-person experience now, which is, it's cool that there's still a lot of value in that for people. I think that's only going to be more appreciated after this is all over and when people can travel and get out and see people all together again. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Nathan, we're gonna leave it right there. Did you want to add anything?
No,
we're just going to keep it nice, short, and punchy for today. But we will leave you with this and ask you this one last question. Nathan, what is one word that inspires you that could also inspire someone else for the better, and why?
One word. Attitude. Attitude is everything. Whatever you do in life, if you go at it with a good attitude, you're going to see success in some form. I think people go at things and if they have, like my whole thing is saying yes to things, being open opportunities, having a positive attitude towards things. And I think if you've got the right attitude, you're setting yourself on the path for success.
That's fantastic, man. And a lot of people are going to get a lot of value just from that. And thank you for sharing that. We love you. I love you. Elliot loves you.
Love y'all.
Thanks for jumping
give her
on
a cuddle for me. Please give her a cuddle for me.
Will do. Thank you for jumping on the podcast, bro. And we'll speak to you very soon.
See you, boys.
Cheers, bro.